My name is Alicia Albrechtsen from Pneumatic Addict. Last year, my husband and I had the opportunity to build our dream home ourselves, which we featured in our Building Modern on a Budget house series. We've been living in our house for around 10 months and we still love it. But we happen to live in a pretty rural area, and we've discovered that we might have a need for some emergency portable power from time to time. I'm going to walk you through what we use for emergency electrical power and what we do when we need some power on the go.
This video is sponsored by EcoFlow. As I mentioned, we live in a fairly rural county island outside of Phoenix, Arizona. In our part of the world, we experience pretty heavy monsoon storms every summer. And over this last summer, we had some pretty extreme storms, which resulted in complete power outages to our home more than once. In the past, the only real option for emergency power was a noisy and dirty fuel-powered generator. Technology has come a long way, and now rechargeable portable power stations are available. Unlike traditional power generators, which create electricity on demand, portable power stations can be charged when it's convenient and then stored for emergency use or travel later. Unlike generators, portable power stations are safe to use indoors. The Delta Mini comes with everything you need to get started right in the box.
This is the Delta Mini. It is a portable power station and it's made by a company called EcoFlow. The Delta Mini contains a rechargeable lithium-ion battery that can output 1400 watts of electrical power. If you have a device with greater demand, that output can be boosted up to 1800 watts. I'll be honest, portable power stations are notoriously heavy and hard to move around. I was a little nervous when I was looking into them, whether or not I would be able to pick one up and be able to move it by myself. The Delta Mini is actually one of the lightest weight portable power banks. It's a little under 24 pounds and definitely manageable for even me to be able to pick up and carry around. It has multiple different AC as well as DC out ports, allowing you to power up to 12 devices at the same time. EcoFlow power stations are known as the world's fastest charging power stations. One of the things that makes the Delta Mini extra cool is how quickly it can charge. It can be fully charged in less than 100 minutes, which is about 3 to 4 times faster than most competitive power stations.
In addition to the power station, you also receive an AC-powered charging cable, a 12-volt car charging cable, a multi-voltage DC power cable, as well as a solar charging cable rated up to 300 watts. Let's go over some of the stats of the Delta Mini. The Mini can store an impressive 882 watt-hours of power at 50.4 volts. It can be charged via a standard AC outlet, through solar panels, or via 12 or 24 volt DC input. The Delta Mini's portable compact design is easy to pick up and move around. The complete power station weighs a little less than 24 pounds. As I mentioned before, the Delta Mini can charge up to 12 devices at once and output up to 1800 watts. The 12 output ports include 5 AC 2-prong outlets, 2 USB-A ports, 1 USB-A fast charge port, 1 USB-C port, 1 12-volt car charger port, and 2 12-volt DC 5521 ports. The Delta Mini can accommodate almost any kind of cord you have lying around the house. The 5 2-prong AC outlets support 3-prong plugs as well. However, if you want to charge or power a device that should be grounded, it is recommended that you use an adapter that simulates grounding. The DC output option can provide power to a number of different devices. When it comes time to charge the Delta Mini power station, you have a couple of different options. Next to the AC input port, there's an AC charge speed switch, which allows you to customize the input wattage, including EcoFlow's Extreme Fast Charge technology, which offers 900 watts of input power. If you want to customize your Delta Mini's performance, you can do so on your smartphone using the EcoFlow app. The app allows you to remotely check both your input and your output demands, as well as making small changes to how your power station functions, like changing the maximum power output or adjusting the screen timer.
By far, one of my favorite features is the LCD display screen. As soon as I turn the Delta Mini on, it tells me how charged the battery is and how long it would last under current demands.
Let's talk about some of the household devices you can power using the Delta Mini and for how long. Low wattage devices like an alarm clock or Wi-Fi router could be plugged in simultaneously and still be powered for multiple days. Higher demand appliances like a microwave or a full-sized side-by-side refrigerator would definitely drain the power station much faster, but considering the average power outage in Arizona lasts 83 minutes, you'd have plenty of power to get you through a typical blackout.
Like I imagine many of you, one of my biggest concerns whenever we've had a power outage is what's gonna happen to the fridge and freezer and everything inside. We keep this old chest freezer out in the garage. It's great for long-term storage, primarily of things like meat or prepared meals. Definitely stuff that is expensive and I don't want it to go bad. Looking at the LCD display screen on the Delta Mini, I'm going to have about 59 hours of runtime. So 59 hours of making sure everything stays cool, and I'm not gonna just have to throw away all that expensive food.
I was surprised to learn that with the Delta Mini's 1800 watt potential output, I can power even high amperage electrical devices like a space heater. The Delta Mini is also extremely quiet, almost silent when it's running, which makes powering devices that you plan on having running for a long time much more enjoyable.
The Delta Mini is really useful to have on hand for emergency household power, but it's also very, very convenient for power on the go.
Our new house may be finished now, but if you've been around the Pneumatic Addict channel very long, you know my first love are power tools. Let's take a look at some typical large power tools and how long they can run on the Delta Mini. With a full charge, you could run even power-hungry tools like a miter saw or a thickness planer for around 30 minutes straight. You could also use a typical 9-gallon shop vac for almost an hour. That's a lot of sawdust to clean up. A lot of power tools are switching over to cordless battery-powered platforms these days, but you'll still find some of the corded standbys on every construction site. When we were building our house ourselves, the tool that we used almost every day was our air compressor. An air compressor is invaluable on a lot of job sites because it can help power other tools like nail guns and paint sprayers. An efficient air compressor runs the motor in bursts. So depending on what accessories you're using, 30 or 40 minutes of runtime could give you hours of pneumatic power. Many carpenters would tell you that the most versatile cutting tool is a 10-inch table saw. There are a couple of battery-powered table saws on the market, but they just can't compete with a traditional corded table saw. Table saws are an especially tricky tool because of the huge peak in power demand when they first kick on. Even smaller job site table saws draw somewhere between 12 and 15 peak amps. The Delta Mini power station, when fully charged, can provide around 30 minutes of cut time on a table saw. I could see the Delta Mini being used as a really practical alternative power source for on-site work. There's no need to lug a dirty, heavy generator into a customer's house for just a few cuts. I am definitely not a tech and gadget girl, but I have seen how portable power stations like the Delta Mini have become really popular for powering and protecting electronics lately. In addition to being a safe and steady power source for electronics like laptops on the go, the Delta Mini can also function as an EPS, or emergency power supply. When used as an EPS, the Delta Mini functions as a power pass-through from grid power to your sensitive electronic devices. Basically, you plug the Delta Mini into the wall and then plug your computer or other device into the Delta Mini. In case of a sudden blackout, the Delta Mini can automatically switch to the battery-powered supply mode within 30 milliseconds, potentially protecting your device from sudden shutdown and possibly losing data. More than anything, I really appreciate the adaptability of the Delta Mini. The longer I have it, the more power solutions it provides. I primarily was interested in getting a portable power station for emergency use to power household appliances, but so far we found ourselves using the Delta Mini much more on the go. The ability to have reliable AC or DC power anywhere we go is pretty amazing. Owning the Delta Mini has given me both a sense of security as well as freedom. If you've ever been in a position where you didn't have electrical power when you needed it, I highly recommend you check out the Delta Mini and other products by EcoFlow. If you want to learn more about our DIY modern house, make sure you check out our Building Modern on a Budget house build series. If you like other types of DIY content, including free building plans, check out this video as well. I want to know what you would use your own portable power station for, so leave your ideas in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.